Wow, everybody, this is amazing. I can't believe how many people are here. I was transporting a horse down the interstate instead of writing a speech. So this morning I got up and decided I better take some notes. I want to thank you for joining in the completion of this project, and thank the good Lord for some clear skies today, because we had rain in the forecast, and so I have a little different outfit on, but I'm really glad to be here. Everyone has been thanking me for sharing this project. I have been posting on Facebook and the progress pretty much from start to finish, but I just wanted to say that this really is not my project. This project belongs to everybody, because the horse and the jockey and the history of this project belongs to everybody. So I was happy to share it, and I really encourage all of you to go back and look at the progress on the Facebook. It really has been fun. It's everyone's horse, everyone's team. Ron and Secretariat were none other than the most amazing athletes. People say, how did the project start? So my friend Robin Hutton wrote a book on Sergeant Reckless, a little mare that served with the Marines in the Korean War, and she was getting Reckless installed at the Kentucky Horse Park. And in the process of placing this fourth or fifth monument of Sergeant Reckless, I had told her, I said, I would love to sculpt a life-size thoroughbred. And within a few months, the phone rings. How about Secretariat at Life and a Half? That'd do. So basically the race was on. This was in June of 2018, and I was literally sitting on the side of a volcano in Hawaii. My husband and I bought some cattle pasture. It had nothing on it but a tarp, and we were hunkered under it because it rains about 200 inches a year there. And I get the phone call because I have cell service, and I'm thinking, what in the world? I couldn't get home fast enough to start my research. Is Penny still with us? Is the jockey still with us? What, catch me up to speed, 20 questions. And I get home, and I started the project. I had about 4 months of research into it, working on the maquette, the miniatures, get the sketch going, and then lining up people that I could go visit. And then there was about another 4 months working at monument size, and then the foundry had it for another 8 months. So this has been a 16-month project, and definitely a labor of love. It's been really fun. I figure I logged about 25 flights in research, and I went all the way I live in Washington State. I went down to California. I had the maquette in a roller bag on the airplanes to Florida, all the way up to Maine to visit. I landed at Presque Isle and crossed the border to visit Ron Turcotte. So we really have. It's been an awesome journey. We visited the meadows where Secretariat was foaled and trained. Kate Tweedy, Leanne Layden were incredible help there. Went to visit Ron twice, first for the miniature sketch, got approval. He was very picky about where his butt was. So there were several things that he really wanted me to nail on this monument. So I kept him pretty close at hand. Robin and I had the privilege of sitting with him in his office as he recounted each one of the races in the Triple Crown. And we had him up on YouTube, and he told us everything that he was doing at the time he was on the back of that horse, and the choices that he was making and the choices that Secretariat was also making. So that was really thrilling to be able to sit with him and be part of that. We had gone into town. He wanted to show us a monument. We had a little rental car. He says, come out to the house. So he wheels over to his big red van and drops the platform, wheels right up to his steering wheel, and off we go down the road in a big red van with license plate, Big Red. And I was riding with Ronnie to his house. That was thrilling. And just a little side note, at some point when we get this drape up, I really thought Ron needed to have his signature on the monument. So I cut a little chunk of clay out of the side of his boot, and I put it in a little box with some instructions, and I sent it to him, said, sign your name in this clay. And so about 2 weeks later, back comes the box, and I pushed it back in the boot and smoothed out the lines, so Ron does have his signature on and Robin Hutton does as well, because she was a big part of this. One of my visits was to Claiborne with Del Hancock. Thank you so much. That was amazing. We drove around and talked a lot about Secretariat, and I asked her, I said, what would you like me to portray in this monument? You knew the horse. He was there for years. And she said, his charisma. He had charisma like none other. And that has stuck with me for the entire project. I just kept thinking, charisma. And when we sat with Ron at his place up in Canada, I said, Del Hancock told me that this horse had a lot of charisma, and he said that he did. And he said, and the fact that I had none. He said, maybe if I'd had more charisma, the world would have woken up. But I think they did a pretty good job. I visited his original veterinarian. Dale hooked me up with Doc Copeland, and I got his thumbs up on the final maquette size. I did take him in front of Bob Baffert and Bob's vet, Vince Baker. I had him. I got to watch D. Wayne Lucas tack up one of his horses, so I watched how everything was done, so I could really bring that into the piece. And people say, why did you travel so much for this monument? Well, when you do your research, everything comes in, the sights, the sounds, the smells. When I was working on the horse, I was thinking about Ron and what he was saying. And so it literally does come out of my hands into the piece. And I don't really think about it, it just does. So the research is really important to me. I can't just look at a book or watch a movie and think I can nail a project. It's really an incredible honor to be the artist for this project, because there are some amazing equine artists out there that I'm sure would have loved to have this chance, and I just feel like I slid right in under the gate. So it's been an amazing journey, lots of ups and downs, mostly ups, but the hands-on was really exciting for me. I was working on Secretariat at Life and a Half, and at one point I was working on the foam and was actually rubbing it, and I felt like I was rubbing down Secretariat, and so to have him in my hands was really fun. The power and the grace of the team was very inspiring to me, and I really hope that I've honored the memory of this moment and this team in this particular moment in time. And I do encourage you once again, look at the Facebook, watch the progress. It's fun. It's fun. So there's been a lot of racing puns as I've been working on this, and I should have written them down. There was like 30 of them, but basically when I got the project, we were on the fast track, and I'd be talking to someone about something, and I one more racing pun, like we're out of the gate now, and coming around the turn, we're off and running, and even when I was at the casino on the way out here when we were transporting, they were trying to line them up for a special shot, and I said, well, let me just get in the truck and jockey the trailer around. I'm like, oh, here we go again. But I definitely think we're in the home stretch now. We've got a little ways to get them out to the roundabout, and I think we're at the finish line. A lot of people want to ask about or know about transportation. It was very harrowing, but it was really exciting. There's nothing like barreling down the interstate at 70 miles an hour with Secretariat on your heels. But you look in the mirror and he was still in the same place, so he wasn't gaining on us, and that's not his style. We had some great friends. My cousins joined the entourage. We had a caravan, and Ed and Brenda Kelly joined us, and Jim and Robin Weaver helped set up. There was just a mob of us going down the interstate, and everybody was taking care of me and fussing over me. I feel like a little princess, so probably when I go home, I'm going to say, hey, what's going on? My husband did most of the driving. I got in about 150 miles because I just didn't feel safe the first 2 days. I was tired. But it was exhausting and exhilarating. Lots of honks, lots of waves. But we did have dark windows, and I think people would have engaged us more. We looked like the Secret Service, pulling Secretariat. So they'd sneak up and take a picture and zoom off. And I'm like, anyhow, statistics on the sculpture. He's 11'4" from the bed of the trailer to the top of Ronnie's helmet. He's 21 feet long from hoof to hoof. Just a little bit over life and a half, and he weighs about 3,800 pounds in bronze. He is here forever. He's got an armature in there that I think you could run a Mack truck into him, and he's not going to move. He's really in good shape. I want to thank Robin Hutton for commissioning Sergeant Reckless, because without you, Robin, I would not be here. And it's the connections of the connections. Robin, it was introduced to Ted Bassett when we were installing at the Kentucky Horse Park. And so I want to thank Ted for recommending me. Mr. Campbell, you and Anya and Mary, I want to thank you for calling me. That was a great day. Triangle Foundation, I want to thank you for trusting me. Ron Turcott for guiding me, because he really was the guiding hand. Dell, thank you for hands-on. She filmed me while I was pulling the nostrils apart on one of her horses. Hands-on research. Leonard Lusky for pushing me. He would not let me stop. I'm like, what do you think about this? He says, you don't have the tilt of the head right. No, he wouldn't hold his head that high. His neck would be a little lower. And his tail wouldn't be like that. And so thank you, Leonard. It was worth it. I really did want the best piece possible. So Crucible Foundry for on-time delivery and flawless metal. They really did a great job. You're going to have a piece that'll last for hundreds of years. Keeneland Racecourse for sharing the beautiful venue. It's really stunning here. My husband, Michael, and my assistant, Kristen, for hours of tooling the clay. He did help. Lots of hands-on from a lot of people. And for feeding and watering me regularly, because I needed it. There were countless artists and students that came by, and I want to thank them for inspiring me. Friends, family, and fans of Secretariat, a lot of them are here today, traveled all the way from Colorado, New Mexico. Thanks for supporting me. Glover Family Auto Group sponsored the transportation, beautiful vehicle. I want to thank them. And Ariat for sponsoring my feet. I don't know if you guys know, the Ariat was named after Secretariat. And so they got a hold of me and said, let's put some boots on you. I'd like to include my speech just real quickly. I'm almost done. Ron Turcott was not able to be with us today, and he was very disappointed. He called me personally, said, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. So on his behalf, his brother Gaetan is here. And I would also like to have Kate Tweedy say a little bit on behalf of the Chenry family. If you could come up.
I know you're cold. She gave me a minute. Mom, this was one of the last projects she authorized, and I haven't seen the life size yet, but I'm pretty sure she would be really thrilled. And I know she also was so happy that the Triangle Foundation was doing this. Her dear friends in Lexington, who she loved and missed terribly. You did a great job. I also thank you, Jocelyn. What a wonderful sculptress. I'm here on behalf of Virginia, Secretariat's home state, and we're just jealous as we can be. But I also want to thank the fans, because they're the ones who've kept his memory alive, and we're so thrilled that you're here. This great new statue is going up for the world to enjoy. Thank you so much.
Now he said he can't speak just 2 minutes, so I've got the hook.
Okay.
I'm watching you.
Put the timer on. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. This is a great honor and a privilege to be here with all the fans and all the followers of Secretariat. This message Ron wrote for me to ask you to read for everyone. I would like to thank Jocelyn Russell for creating this magnificent sculpture, the City of Lexington and the Triangle Foundation for funding and bringing it to reality. Keeneland Racecourse hosting this spectacular event. To Penny, Lucian, Eddie, Charlie, and the Meadow Stables team, whose efforts all combine to the rise of a champion. Special thanks to Leonard Lusky, Secretariat.com, for all the efforts that he put into keeping Secretariat alive. This is a message that Ron wrote also. To all Secretariat fans, Turcotte Tuesday followers, readers, and friends, I very much regret not being able to join you this weekend at the Secretariat Festival. I had been looking forward to this momentous occasion for the past two years, and I cannot find any words to express my disappointment that due to unforeseen circumstances, I cannot be with all of you for the unveiling of this beautiful monument. I feel that this bronze statue of Secretariat and me symbolizes our run into history. Sculpted by none other than the talented and true perfectionist Jocelyn Russell, I have enjoyed working with her and appreciate her meticulous attention to every detail. I believe it is a worthy testament of Secretariat's greatness. I am also very gratified and humbled that the statue is of both of us together. I know I would have never have become able to win the Triple Crown without Secretariat. Even though some say he may not have accomplished all he did without me, I don't know about that. He was so great that I'm sure he could have won the Triple Crown no matter what. He may not have done it in the same fashion though. I had such confidence in him and knew him so well that I was willing to go for some unconventional moves depending on how the races came up. It was very hard for the other jockeys to plan or predict what we were going to do. It also made for some very thrilling moments. 3 different races with 3 different ways of running with the same result each time. A very convincing win, a new track record. We were a team. Who could ask for anything more? I am thankful for Gaetan that will be attending the festival, although I'm not able to attend this year. I look forward to seeing the monument during my next visit to Kentucky and hope to see you next year. And if I may, I would like to add a personal comment. I personally and the Turcotte family would like to thank everyone who has been supporting my brother for the last 40 plus years. You are the fuel in the tank. Also, the warm welcome. I felt like a part of the family last night, and I still do right now today with all the people here. Secretariat is not just a champion. He is part of our family and will be forever. Thanks, Secretariat. Thank you.
Wow, but you can't beat that. I'm about ready to wrap up here. I wanted to quickly say that I am going to be doing a slideshow at 1:30 right here in the Sales Pavilion. If anybody's interested, it's about the making of the monument. Probably go 45 minutes or so. And then we're going to do a little drive about Monday morning to Lexington, and on our way back out to the installation site and begin installing at 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday. And I just really want to thank you guys for being here again. It's really been wonderful.
Jocelyn, thank you very much. Well, it's about that time, but before we do the unveiling, I'd just like to make one final comment. Many decades ago, this gentleman started the Triangle Foundation, and without his seed money and vision, we wouldn't be here today. I think we need to show Alec Campbell a wonderful sign of appreciation with a wonderful applause. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. At this time, we're going to begin the unveiling. We will have the participants over here to my right. We have Jocelyn, Robin Hutton, who she introduced earlier, Alec Campbell, the founder of the Triangle Foundation, Dale Hancock, representing the Hancock family, and Mr. Ted Bassett. Please come to the right. Y'all ready?